A set of ball joints I got off my uncle's shop truck. Carli ball joints. Very little wear that I can tell. I tried wiping it out, but the grease is kind of streaks. Pretty impressed. They said they were worn out, but I told them they probably just needed grease. And they didn't know where their receipt was. So they just bought new ones. And I asked to have these to look at them. Yeah, there's some rust right here, which that's normal. Probably just came up through the stud. There's that copper sulfate coating I think Carly says they treat it with. I mean, it looks pretty good to me. I mean, maybe if you mic'd it out and compared it to old versus new, there might be somewhere, and there's streaks. I just used a paper towel gasoline. But, I mean, rubbing it like that, it's smooth. Don't feel any pitting. No gouges. Pretty impressive. Probably 10 years, I'm guessing maybe 100,000 miles. And I know my uncle's shop, they didn't grease them like they were supposed to. Same here, it's nice and shiny and smooth. There's a spot right there. Yeah, right there. I can catch up with my fingernail. So that might be some wear there. But honestly, considering it's coming off a third generation Dodge, that's that usually eats them in 30 to 60,000 miles. That's pretty good. I mean, it's not much, but let me see if I don't know. Oops. Actually, I don't think I can feel it. I thought I could. Huh. Maybe just ever so slightly. Yeah, and whoever took these things out, they were hard on them. Looks like they beat them out. They broke the Zerk fittings. I was supposed to get a set of 4, and the upper ones is completely gone. It's just the stud and the cap, so they probably crushed it. That's been way over tightened. That's what happens when you let other people work on your stuff. It's too bad too, because I really don't think these were bad. I should take the other one apart. Oh yeah, I mean, look at that. They mushroomed the stud. I have no idea how much they paid to have these renewed and installed, and I cringe to think what the new ones look like, but it's their money. Let me try to clean this up a little bit. Set this down for a second. Terrible video. I have to excuse the stupid freezer is having an identity crisis. It thinks the door is ajar and it's not. But yeah, I mean, that's not too bad. I've got a set on my truck. Had them for 10 years, and other than, well, probably maybe longer, other than getting a little low in grease and getting a little bit of play, other than that, they seem to be fine. Interestingly enough, I don't see the O-ring. I thought there was an O-ring on the stud, and it looks like there's a space machinery in there for it, but maybe the lures don't have an O-ring, and maybe it's the upper. I can't remember. Anyway, just thought I'd show that. There's my messy toolbox. Just wanted to show I was cleaning this cap up, and there is an O-ring. That's it, how it's installed. It's not like this. But it, there is an O-ring. You can feel it. Just couldn't see it because it had dirty grease. Pretty sure Carly said that these are just there to keep dirt out, which this one worked because I almost dropped it. That's pretty clean. My fat head keeps getting in the way of the light. There. Oops. Terrible camera, man. But there, see, it's clean. Of course, I wiped it down, but well, I guess some crap did get up here, but it couldn't get past the ball. But still, this is at least 10 years. Who knows the mileage? I'd say 100K, maybe more. That's pretty good. Alright, I'm back. Curiosity got the best of me. I just had to, as I dropped the cap, I had to open the upper one. Yeah, somebody, good lord, they mushroomed that. Well, I checked for, you know, this is a floating kingpin, so it did have some play up and down, side to side. Of course, the best I could hold it in my hand, and trying to wiggle the shaft with my other, it did move. Obviously, it had to be checked on the truck. Let me pop this pin out. Oh, come on. It's out. Dang it. And it's oily. Very oily. I'll clean this. And this, where'd the cap go? This thing was definitely long grease. I mean, I didn't clean any of it out. That was all just on top, so that they weren't greasing them. I kept telling him, I said, they probably don't need replaced. Just put some grease. I'm gonna clean this up. Okay, there it is, cleaned up. There is pitting. There's a ring of rust right here. The pin looks good. Well, I guess it's considered a pin, but the top looks good, I can tell. It was hitting the top of this cap. Probably because there wasn't enough grease to hold it down. So, I mean, I don't, obviously the rust pitting isn't good. And well, yeah, there's some. Huh, it's interesting. It's, camera won't focus. It was rubbing more right here than here because the coating's still there. Not sure what would cause that unless it's low on grease. But like I said, I did not clean the grease. Well, I'll clean the grease off this, but that's all the grease that was in there. And there. And I can still see the red line grease they give you to install it with. So they weren't greasing these things like they should. I'm willing to bet they were just kind of low on grease. Although this pin being rusted isn't great. Kind of makes me wonder what mine look like. Pretty sure. I thought there was supposed to be an O-ring in there, but I don't. Actually, yeah, I see it. I think it's right there. I think it's right there. It's just kind of got grease and it's flat. Well, there's 2 sets taken apart. I'm probably not going to take these apart, no need. Well, that one's already taken apart because they busted it. This one, I mean, I could for the heck of it. And here's the lower one without the cap on it. And that feels pretty good. It's hard to believe AAM designed these axles with a 5,000 pound front end. I've had my truck weighed, it weighs 5,000 pounds on the front. All that weight of the front end sits on this ball joint, and that ball joint. These uppers are just floating kingpins. Of course, the Dana 60s and the previous second gens, they split the load together. I don't know why AEM did that. Obviously, Dodge would have had to prove it. And that's why third gens eat ball joints. Because as a website, I think it was Quad 4x4 said, this is not much bigger than a 1978 Jeep. And you got 5,000 pounds on it. Of course, Carli has pretty much solved that problem as far as I'm concerned. I mean, they're tough, but you gotta grease them. This one looks pretty good. I mean, I wouldn't, other than whoever beat it out. You snap the grease fitting. I mean, this ball joint's probably fine. I don't know though. Well, it's just interesting. Never seen the inside of a ball joint after 10 years, especially a Carli. Anyway.